Good morning. Welcome to Proof Weight Loss Surgery Works. It is I, Bandedwendy, your Tuesday vlogger. How are you? Thanks to all for the comments. We even got a response video from Jen on the band last week on the topic. So high five. Love that. Love reading your comments. Love seeing the response videos. Join us. You know, the more we share, the better off we all will be in the long run. So right into this week's topic. This is about food label reading. How do you read a label and what do you look for? So I'd be very curious. Grab a pen, piece of paper, write down the questions, share your answers in the comments, ask questions, make us a response video, tell us about how you do it. I'm a lap band patient. I had lap band surgery March 23rd of 2009. And I lost over 100 pounds, and I have maintained my weight loss for 3+ years. So I feel that label reading is a huge part of my journey, and I had to re-educate myself about food from the ground up. And I was given a couple of rules to follow from my bariatric surgeon. Number one was protein first. Preferably firm protein. Number two was count calories and count protein. Number three was, in the losing phase, 800 to 1050 calories max consumed, and protein needed to be between 60 and 80 grams protein minimum to lose, right? So I follow that to the best of my ability, and those are the things that got me started, right? Now my husband is a gastric bypass patient, 10 years post-op, and he started out at 487 pounds, and he's now 200 or so pounds, and he has really inspired me to get in depth in understanding those calories and the protein. He shared with me a story that soon after his gastric bypass surgery back in 2003, 2004, he would spend hours in the grocery store, hours reading labels. He was much more concerned than I am with what's in and on a label, what's in food. He's concerned with calories, he's concerned with saturated fat, he's concerned with sodium, and he's concerned with sugar as well as carbs and protein. So he had a little bit more re-education and learning than I did, but he can pretty much, off the top of his head, you give him anything and he can tell you all of that information for pretty much any food. So it's pretty remarkable. So I aspire to be as sharp as he is when it comes to looking at a label and being able to call out what's in it. And, you know, I track my food. That's the other thing. If I'm tracking my food and food journaling, then I better know how to read a label, right? So, how do I read a label? Calories and protein, number one. Number two, serving size, right? And that's really all I look at. Every once in a while, I'll take a peek at the carbs or the sugar or the fiber. And if he asks me, I'll look at the saturated fat. But I do not count carbs, I do not count sugar, I do not count fiber, I do not count any of that stuff. Calories and protein. So when I was told protein first, I was like, what does that mean? Anything with protein is considered protein first. And slowly but surely I realized that wasn't a good rule for me. In order for me to understand and live authentically without giving myself too much leeway, because I would look for every opportunity I could to eat something more desirable. Truth, right? So I set up a 10-to-1 ratio, meaning for every 100 calories, or for every 10 calories, there needs to be at least one protein. And for a good part of my journey, particularly in the losing phase, if it didn't meet the 10-to-1 ratio, I didn't eat it. Because otherwise, I would be eating something that had 190 calories and 4 proteins. And what I found is, in that 10-to-1 ratio world, it's going to be low calorie, high protein. And when you get low calorie and high protein, you pretty much eliminate fat well, maybe not fat, but you pretty much eliminate sugar, right? And carbs, which so many people are used to having to count those things in the diet world. So I look for 10-to-1 ratio when I'm looking at those calories and that protein. I look at the serving size. So I brought a couple of my staple foods here. My almond butter from Trader Joe's. I look at the calories. It's 190 calories. I look at the protein. It's 7 grams of protein. Serving size is 2 tablespoons. I typically use 1 tablespoon. Works great, right? So I don't necessarily have to eat the serving size, and I can reduce and adjust, divide in half the calories and protein in order to put it in my food journal. Lifesaver, love these guys. PB2, right? This is 2 tablespoons, so the same serving size, 45 calories and 5 proteins. Great option in the losing phase. The carbs are even different if you want to look at it. Sugars are different. Fibers are different. Fat's different. 17 grams of fat here, 1.5 grams of fat here, right? So you have options. I will use 2 tablespoons of this because I'm okay at 45 and 5, and that meets my 10-to-1 ratio. Jerky, you can see it's unopened, but I have it here as emergency food. Serving size, 1 ounce. Calories, 60. Protein, 11. Bam, I'm buying that. It meets my 10-to-1 ratio. It's easy on the go, have it in my car, have it in my office, have it in my purse, and it's protein, right? Some people are concerned about sodium. I don't eat enough of it for it to matter. Plus I drink a crap ton of water, and I sweat and I pee a lot, so I'm not so worried about the sodium. Another thing I like to have on hand, my protein bars. This is one of my top 2 favorites, and this has 180 calories with, let's see, I believe it's 20 protein, yeah. 180 calories and 20 proteins. That meets my 10-to-1 ratio. The serving size is 1 bar. I do not always eat the whole bar. If I'm just trying to beat hunger, if I'm out shopping in the grocery store and I'm hungry and I don't want to like buy junk, half of this, perfect. Emergency foods for me. One of my top 10 superfoods on my weight loss surgery journey, my Fage 0% Greek yogurt, or any Greek yogurt typically that's 0%. This serving size, 1 cup. That is the max I can consume now. There was a time that a half cup was all I could consume. So calories, 130. Proteins, 23. That's all I'm looking at. Hits my 10-to-1 ratio. I know the serving size. I can cut it in half if I'd like, right? Something that I love. Now, this is kind of scary when you look at it. This is granola, right? It's 270 calories and 8 protein. Oh my. Typically, I would run away in the other direction unless it was like a Hershey bar, right? Or a cupcake, something sugary and delicious. A once-in-a-while type food. But this is by far my favorite granola, and particularly in the losing phase, I would pair this with my yogurt, right? But how do I do this? Serving size, half cup, right? Something I learned at a support group, there are 16 tablespoons in a cup, right? So I can divide any cup into 16 tablespoons, meaning I can divide any half cup into 8 tablespoons. So I'm not going to use a half cup of granola. No, I'm not. It's not worth 270 calories and 8 proteins. However, I would like a tablespoon. So what do? I take 270 calories divided by 8, right? Because there's a half cup in a serving, 8 tablespoons in a half cup, 270 divided by 8, 33.75 calories in 1 tablespoon. Perfect, right? Now I'm going to look at the protein. Well, there's 8 proteins in a half cup, 8 tablespoons in a half cup. 8 divided by 8, 1 tablespoon has 1 gram of protein. Perfect. It works when paired with this because it keeps my breakfast still at a 10-to-1 ratio. That's what I'm trying to do, right? Something else that I added into my journey about 2 years ago, and I find it to be very helpful, tastes great, I don't notice any of the difference in a protein shake, is my almond milk, right? Now this is a cup. I look at the calories 30, protein 1. I buy the unsweetened anytime I can, right? It doesn't meet my 10-to-1 ratio, but for the amount, the 1 cup, and the liquid that I'm getting to put in a protein shake, with the 1 gram of protein, 30 calories, I'll take it. I might not want to do 90 calories and 9 proteins for a cup of non-fat milk, which I typically use, when I have a protein powder that has 110 calories and 25 proteins. You don't need to overdo it, right? Something I have that I'm yet to open, another just in case when I want food, are these original crisp green snap peas. 1 ounce, which is about 22 peas, has, so that's my serving size, has 120 calories and 4 proteins. So it's not 10-to-1. It's unopened. It's an every once in a while kind of food. I will measure out the portion size, and I will only allow myself to have that 1 portion. It's an alternative to wanting a chip or something crunchy, and I'm aware because I'm reading the nutritional information, looking at the label, and logging it in my food journal, right? Something that I eat every once in a while, and particularly when I'm training for a half marathon or greater, I might add in some weight control oatmeal, right? These have 160 calories and 7 proteins, which tends to be the best oatmeal I have personally found from a calorie protein ratio. And I will typically not be able to finish a whole serving. 1 serving, I look at that, it's a packet, right? And I'll usually put PB2, non-fat milk, maybe some of the bananas, some blueberries, even Greek yogurt in it to eat that. But again, I'm looking at the calories and the protein and the serving size, 1 pack. And when you line up the oatmeals at the grocery store and you look at that, you're going to find that this one has the highest number of protein, right? So oatmeal in general is not a good calorie protein ratio. It's not anything I ate in the losing phase, for sure. I didn't allow myself to do that. It wasn't the 10-to-1. However, now in maintenance with my fitness level, I'll add it in every so often. And I'm going to go for the one that has the highest number of calories. I'm sorry, the highest number of proteins, right? Ooh, I'm running long. Okay, that's it. So things that I use every day that are like fruits and vegetables. I use Fat Secret. I use CalorieKing.com. Nutritional, Google nutritional information for a half banana. Nutritional information for a 1/4 cup of fresh blueberries. I get it right off the internet. It's that easy in the palm of your hand if you have a smartphone. Okay, bye. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.